we'll let our panel introduce themselves to you, Zoe, and then you can begin. Thank you. I'm sorry, did I wait till you took a bite of it? We can start together.
No, I can start. My name's Julie Luzo, and I am a health and wellness coach at the YMCA. And so a lot of the kids come to the Y and see us all the time.
Awesome.
I'm Becky Brown, Health and Wellness Director at Central YMCA.
Hi Zoe, I'm Nikki Lockwood, one of your school board members, and I'm also a parent of a former TCS student, grad.
Awesome.
Hi Zoe, my name is Carl Sagerstrom, he and pronouns. I'm the Communications and Storytelling Manager at our Health Foundation, and really excited to learn about you.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm Zoe, and this is my grad defense, which you already know. So I'm obviously Zoe, and I've been doing Running Start for 2 years at Eastern Washington, and I am planning to continue at Eastern. I'm already selected my classes for next quarter and everything, so it's going well, and I'm majoring in, I have no clue. I really do not know. I'm planning to just continue and see where things go, which is my plan. My plan is to continue at work. I'm currently working at a restaurant downtown Spokane, and continue at Eastern, and then figure out how I feel about everything. As for evidence about that I can do this and that I'm able to continue at college and that I'm like going to succeed, I'm gonna just not show you guys all of my college essays and my textbook coursework as a favor, because it's really terrible to look at and it's really unenjoyable. So instead, I'll just show you my grades. Overall, I'm very happy with them. I'm doing very well. I think I'm happy with them for it being like high school and college at the same time for me. But yeah. And then I have no idea what I'm majoring in, but I do know that some of these I've really enjoyed so far. I really enjoyed all of the art classes I've taken. They really just were the most enjoyable classes I've taken out of all of my time at Eastern. I enjoyed Biology 101, specifically genetics, so that could be something to go into, and also a Western literature class that I took that focused on like Greek and Roman epics, like the Iliad and stuff, and I found it really interesting and very fun to dissect what was going on in those. I'm currently taking a Perspectives on Death class for humanities, and I think it's fascinating. It makes me think a lot about like values and how people view life and death and how we think of death and things surrounding that. I also very much enjoyed Psychology 101, which was a year ago, but I found it very interesting to learn about the brain and how we barely know anything really about the brain, and it's still a lot of research needs to be done for it, and I found it very interesting. And then I've also really enjoyed hanging out in the Pride Center at Eastern, which is the like queer Pride Center at Eastern, and it's just been really great. Everyone there is great. It really makes me feel like I have a sense of community and like somewhere to go when I need help or when I'm just have nowhere to like eat for lunch. So it's just a great place. I love everyone there. In conclusion, I may not know what I'm doing yet, but I do know that I'm fully prepared to figure that out in the future, and I'm fully prepared for my life going forward. And I think I'm going to do really well at Eastern and in college and continuing to work. Thanks for coming.
Alright, we'll open it up for feedback and questions.
So what has been your biggest challenge of being a Running Start student going to college and high school? What's been the biggest challenge with that?
I think really just like finding a way to like keep up with what's going on at high school that I need to know about, because it's hard to keep track of, because I have 2 email addresses and I get a lot of mail on both about like graded assignments and what's coming up. So it's kind of hard to figure out what is like the most important, and also like managing my time of knowing this day I need to come into TCS and I have to do this for high school, and I also need to get back to EWU for classes the same day. Kind of that.
I still don't know what I want to do with myself, so I think that it's good to be open to things, open to the world. If you could do anything, like that big question, if, let's say tomorrow you could just do anything that you wanted to do, what do you feel like you would be led to do?
I would love to do any sort of art for a living, specifically like museum curation. I find really interesting, but it's a really hard field to get into because it's a niche thing. So you have to be kind of well respected within the community to like kind of get a good position. But that probably because I love museums. So
Do you have any connections with the MAC?
no, sadly, I have been going there since I was really little. Though I love it there.
Would you like to have connections with the MAC?
Yeah, it's a great place.
I can help you with that.
That'd be amazing. Thank you.
I remember 2 years ago, somebody was going to do that in college, that museum curation, from, the defenses, I just
Yeah.
remember that, that's what well, that was a very brief presentation.
Yeah. I am still in my college classes, so it was kind of
Yeah.
like I have to.
You're still, you're still
yeah.
doing
So I
classes
still
and
I had
finishing
like
up and all that
a
stuff,
lot
yeah.
to do for my
Well, I went
classes.
to Eastern, and I think it was the end of the second year that I pulled out it used to be a big, with all of the programs they had, and just said, I've got to figure this
Yeah.
out. So, but, I was 2 years older, cause I went out of high school, but, so hopefully you'll figure it out, but I swear I remember some of the classes that you're pointing to. So you're gonna continue at Eastern and continue with your job?
Yes.
So those things will balance out in terms of the costs and all that, cause now you'll have to pay for college.
I do
right, or-
have a fund that my family has been like saving up for a few years. That'll
Oh,
get me
okay.
most of the way. That's part of the reason I did Running Start, just because it'll only get me so far, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to take out any loans. And I also got a scholarship that's like $2,000 every year and
Oh, okay.
$8,000 overall. But since I'm only going to be there for 2 years, I don't know how that'll carry over.
Right.
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty good on cost, and I'm not living there or anything. That's another reason I'm going to Eastern, is because housing costs and like all of the at colleges is really expensive. Like
Mhm.
so, being able to stay at my house, my family house for now, is just the best choice financially.
Mhm. Yeah. What else was I gonna ask you about that? I can't remember, but it's great that you've been straddling both of these things, the TCS and
Yeah.
school and getting it done, so, I mean, I think that's a big strength that you'll move forward with.
Definitely. Thank you.
One of the things I noticed in your presentation and just your style is a lot of like confidence and clarity about what you're doing and what you want to do next, and like seemingly a sense of direction.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, what are some situations that have been challenges for you, and what are like the tools that you use to overcome those challenges?
The main struggle with college so far has been like time management and procrastination, because it's very overwhelming to just look at all your assignments you have and then be like, oh my god, I have to do all of that like by next week. So I think that has been my biggest challenge, but I've just kind of started to reason with myself when that happens. I'm like, okay, it's there, but you just have to get it done, and if you get it done earlier, your life's gonna be way easier. So I just kind of talk myself through it almost.
On that same thread, I was curious too, like what strategies have you designed? What tools do you use to be able to combat that?
I definitely keep like, I make sure I check with every class that I have, like basically every day, multiple times a day, to see what assignments I need to get done, and then check like textbook websites and everything to see what I need to get done. And I make a lot of to-do lists, and that's been really helpful for me. And just making sure I know what I need to do, so at least if I do wait until the last moment, I know exactly how to get it done and what I need to do to get it done.
And did you say you kind of had an idea what classes you would take next quarter?
I've already signed up for them actually. It's all art classes. I think one of them is drawing for communication, ceramics 102, and then I think a drawing class. I took a drawing for non-art majors, but I'm assuming the drawing class will be maybe a little more in depth. But I don't have to be a major to take it, so.
And then are you waiting to see if something opens up while you're at Eastern and kind of gives you the spark for what you're gonna do after, or
I think
do you feel
that,
like you have an idea next?
and
It doesn't.
also looking into where I want to live in the future and seeing what jobs are kind of in demand there, because I don't plan on staying in Spokane for the rest of my life. So kind of just seeing what jobs can like get me like physically where I want to be. So yeah.
I think that speaks a little bit to what you were saying about the confidence of just being pretty self-assured that something's gonna happen, you have faith in that, and you've set yourself up that you have options to do that, so thank you. Any other feedback or questions for Zoe? Mason's like, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay, how much do you think doing Running Start prepared you for your future?
I think it's prepared me very well, because it's just nice to be around mostly adults too, because it's like a lot of more maturity and you kind of learn how to act in those situations. It's also prepared me because you don't have like when I was at TCS and I would have something and it would be coming up, Sarah would be like, you have not submitted this. Where is this? What are you doing, Zoe? But after I went to college, like professors do not hold your hand at all. They're just like, you need to get this done. And if you don't get it done, that sucks for you. Don't email me about it. So I think that very much helped me, is like not having someone being like, you need to get this done. Why aren't you doing this? Like, you need to be making sure you're doing everything you need to be doing, and having that responsibility for myself has really prepared me for like future jobs or just my future in general.
What is your favorite thing about Eastern?
The Pride Center. And Nate and Al, who are Nate runs it and Al is the employee we have. I love them. They're very great. They're very supportive. Yeah, it's just the whole community there too. It's very accepting. I feel very safe there. I go there like every day basically. But it's made me feel really safe, and like I have a community and like somewhere that I belong in Eastern, and everyone there is wonderful people. I love all of them. So yeah.
I feel like we heard a lot about how you're moving forward, the things that you're doing. I'm wondering like what brings you joy, because like a lot of your approach seems very like adult-like and very grown-up, but I just wonder like what are your lighter moments? What are the things that give you like the joy?
I really I love people. I love being around people. That's another reason I love the Pride Center, is because I get to be around people all the time. I just love seeing, like, learning from people and talking to people and all of that, even though it does make me pretty nervous most of the time. I also very much enjoy, like, anything that has to do with creativity. Like, I love watching movies because it's just, you can see, like, it's a labor of love, and I love seeing that. I also very much like video games because I love to see like the art styles and how it was made, and like voice acting and how it all goes together, just kind of like how a production comes together with anything basically. But yeah, basically anything artistic, I love it.
What's your favorite movie you've seen lately?
Mickey 17, it's incredible. I recommend it very much. It's a great movie.
All right, well, thank you, Zoe.
Good luck with the rest of your
Yeah. Don't have any finals coming up, like test finals, so that's a good thing. Mostly essays. But yeah, projects, essays, coursework.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
As a token of our gratitude, there are so many boxes of cookies over there. You can take as many as you can carry. Multiple trips to the car. We have so many more boxes under that table, it's not even funny. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and, oh yeah, thank
Oh,
you, Cindy.
and even better,
Even that.
TCS mugs, if
Oh,
you need a TCS mug, especially if you've never gotten one.
Yeah,
If you already have one in your